Welcome back, everyone, to your podcast, our podcast, the Popular Side Podcast. As always, that's Yinka Yusuf.
Good evening, my people. How are we doing today?
And I'm Aki Adeke. Yinka,
Yes, sir.
we're recording on the first day of February,
Mm-hmm.
2026 on a Sunday. We were able to stick to our Sunday cadence. But as you can tell, I'm not home.
Yep.
I am on the road. I am in a hotel room. I'm you right now.
The journeyman strikes again.
No, it's been a while actually.
We should start keeping tables and we check when episode this Ajala strikes again.
It's been a while though. It's been a while since I've had to do this on the road. I had to remind myself to bring my mic. Don't forget my computer.
Left Lagos now. You just left Lagos.
But we didn't do that. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but you were not in Lagos, so you were traveling. Yeah, okay, you were traveling. Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyway. Before we go on, I think we should remind everybody, please like our videos, subscribe, share. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, whenever this is released, like the video if you haven't. If you hate anything Yinka says on this episode, put a comment.
Yes, please.
But definitely like it and subscribe if you're not already subscribed.
Yeah.
All right.
And same across all other platforms, right? If you see us on TikTok, Akin's favorite platform, Facebook for old people.
Yeah, you will never see me on TikTok. Right?
But you'll see him on Facebook.
You'll see me on Facebook. Once in a while.
You know what to do.
I'm an old man. All right. You good? You ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this. Let's go.
All right. Let's do it. All right. Okay. So we're going to start with our worthy mention. And we have, I think this season in the Premier League and La Liga and across all the top 5 leagues have just been chock full of events. And because we've gone to our 1 hour, well, we've tried to do 1 hour. We haven't really talked a lot of other sports in a while. But, the Australian Open just ended today. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Australian Open. We can't recap everything, but we'll just talk highlights. So you want to do the honors?
Yes, I will. So I'll start with the ladies bracket. Obviously, the champion was Elena Rybakina. I watched some of the highlights. I didn't watch the whole final. I watched some highlights, and the first thing that struck me was when she won. She just so
took it in stride.
So nonchalant, no celebration, no falling to the floor, no. And I'm like, that's odd. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But for the match itself, if there's somebody that can beat Sabalenka at her game, is Rybakina. Arguably same height, same power, but I'm not saying this as something bad, but she's more emotionally stable than Sabalenka.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
You know exactly what I mean. She's even kill. She's like that all through, right? Sabalenka is like this. When Sabalenka is like this, nobody can beat her. But when she comes down, she's very, very susceptible to some shocks. Rybakina had a good tournament. She beat Pegula in the semis. I think in the quarters also, I can't remember who she beat. She beat Swiatek in the quarterfinals, which was surprising actually. In straight sets, by the way, right? And Swiatek, in fact, the second set, I think it was probably 6-love. I think it was a bugle or 6-1. Can't remember. But I think she's since she won Wimbledon, at a young age, everybody thought she was going to be the next big thing. Then things dipped for her a bit. But impressive, she won this time around. Your favorite star, Coco Gauff. Coco lost in the quarterfinals, I believe. Yeah, Coco lost in the quarters to Svitolina
Content. That's why.
Straight
Content.
sets. It was a disappointing game.
So Inka, I think a lot of the tennis press and social media in general is America-centric. So a lot of this news is filtered through the lens of the American viewing public. I can tell you that the average, not even the average American, most Americans cannot tell you who Coco played in any of the rounds she played. They don't care unless she's playing another American and whose surname is like 3 letters. They won't bother to learn it. They don't care, right? So, and so they only know Coco, right? And so, she doesn't, and she only has a right to stay 19 forever. She cannot become a woman. She cannot have complex thoughts. She cannot be upset. She cannot be mad. She just has to stay nice and cute and, obedient. And I mean, you see what they're doing with, the other black woman. What's her name?
Townsend.
Today is one of those days. The Japanese American lady.
Naomi Osaka.
Thank you, Naomi Osaka. Once she started having any kind of complex takes on anything, she became a pariah. Like, how dare you date a rapper? How dare you have a baby and not come back immediately and entertain us? So that's just how it is. Like Coco came into prominence when she was 15. She won at 19. She's done everything quote unquote the right way, and that's the thing. In America, you have to do everything the right way. You don't get to run into any kind of challenges in your life. So I think that's what's happening. On the tennis side of things, I think Coco is fine. Everyone's talking about a forehand this, a serve this, or whatever. It happens. Tiger's swing was broken. He fixed it. It is what it is. We're still talking about rarefied air in this situation. We're still talking of this is a top 3 player. It's the question is, will she get to number 1 and stay number 1 and dominate everybody? And maybe she never does. But if you play in an era that no one thinks is like a weak or depressed era, and you're the number 3 player, that is not bad. So I'm not, as a fan, I'm not fussed. Iga is a great player. Sabalenka is a great player, but they all have what's the word I'm looking for? They have their
flaws,
their shortcomings. They have their flaws and shortcomings. And Coco has hers as well. I love Pegula, but she is who she is. I don't want to say anybody's not number 1 material, but is she gonna be number 1 tomorrow? But the one thing I love, so I wasn't surprised when you said, Rybakina was not like, jumping up and down, whatever. I think in her mind she's thinking this was a long time coming. This is who I've always been. This is what should have happened. The whole time. So I would say look out for her. I wish her the best. I would say look out for her if she can keep her head, and it could be a very interesting next couple years. But back to you.
I agree. Then flipping over to the men's side, Carlos Alcaraz played Novak Djokovic in the final. We were on track for another Sinner Alcaraz final until Sinner decided to sin in the semis, full pun intended, and he lost to Novak Djokovic. Before then, the heat, a lot of players have been complaining about the heat and them cramping up, right? It happened to Sinner in the earlier rounds. They had to close the roof, then he finished the game. Even Alcaraz had a similar problem. Alcaraz had a similar problem in the semis to Zverev. He was leading 2 sets, then he started cramping, and Zverev was actually very, very angry that we don't take timeouts for cramps. He's not injured; he's just cramping, right?
And that's an injury, but okay.
No, but they have. Tennis, they have so many odd things that they do. For example, if I strike the ball, if I strike the ball and it hits the net and it trickles into you, I have to say sorry to you. Why do I have to say sorry to you?
I should celebrate.
Right? I didn't intentionally hit it against the net, and it happened. It happened. You know, they have all this, and if you don't do it, they will say you are being rude. I'm like, anyway.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I'm actually hearing that if you're cramping is not an injury. So
that's crazy.
He should have either played on or retired, as it were.
That's even crazier.
So, but he then, so Zverev won the next two games or the next two sets. Then the final set, Alcaraz to beat him, and that was like the third or fourth longest game in Grand Slam history, or is it Australia Open in particular? I can't remember. But Alcaraz is. Okay, before I move on to Alcaraz, let me talk about Djokovic. Djokovic has no business being in the finals of this tournament, of these Grand Slams anymore. This is a shame, a disgrace to this new generation. All these Ben Shelton and Cam Norrie, Zverev, Sinner. Come on, what are you guys doing? Djokovic has no business being in finals anymore. It's like you guys, I'm sure if Federer is not injured, or Nadal is not injured, they will still be making it to the semis. I'm telling you, I'm disappointed in these guys. You need to overcome your fear. Yeah, I know Djokovic is an all-time, definitely top 3 tennis players of all time. But I mean, come on, guys. He's 50 years old right now, if not 60. Come on, this should not be happening. But it did.
Okay.
And the Alcaraz in the final, Alcaraz gave him the first set more or less just to ease, and subsequently it took him to the cleaners. It was obvious that the tennis sense might be there, but the motor and the aggressiveness is no longer there. The body is gone. Alcaraz steamrolled him.
Gone.
So Alcaraz now has 7 Grand Slams. He has 7 Grand Slams. He's completed.
Same as McEnroe.
Yeah. He's completed the career slam now, so he's won everything. This was what was missing in his cupboard before. So now he's won everything. So now the next thing he's trying to do is in 2026, I want to win everything. I want to win Wimbledon. I want to win French from Roland Garros, and I want to win the US Open later on in August.
Win the World Cup.
I want to win everything winnable. Anyway, so that's the inside of things.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, because we really want to do 1 hour today, so I'm just gonna say back to our long whatever debate on the greatness of tennis players past and tennis players present. So again, I think it depends on your point of view. So you, Yinka, think it's a shame on the current crop that Djokovic is still doing so well. His fans, of which I am not one, his fans will say that just proves his greatness. That those guys are good. He's just that much greater, right? That's what his fans will say, right? When I said McEnroe, that Alcaraz now has the same number, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to be facetious. I really, really mean that. There was a time when if you won 5 Grand Slams, you had done something, right? So we need to decide, was tennis bad then, or was it more competitive? Meaning, were there just better, more great players at the highest levels playing at the time, right? Or are we at a point now where right now we have, the big 3, now we have a big 2.5, and then major drop off, and then the rest of the field. So that's what we need to decide. Because if we're talking like, the Agassiz and McEnroes and Sampras and even Michael Chang at the time, even Jim Courier, all of those guys, right? Like, if they were all roughly at the same level, right? And it wasn't 2 people just winning everything. So when I say McEnroe had 7, still an all-time great. We've been spoiled by someone winning 14, then someone winning 18, and then 20, and then 19, and then 21, and now it's 24 for one guy, about to make it 25. So is Djokovic 4 times the player that McEnroe was? I don't think so. So just thought out.
Anyway.
But wait, we're gonna move on. Okay. Okay. You ready?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
All right. Let's do it. Okay. So we talked about what you mentioned. Inka, we haven't really talked about the winter transfer window. But when does it close? Does it close in the morning? Sorry. Does it close at midnight tomorrow?
It closes tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, at midnight. Okay, today is the 1st, so it closes on the 2nd. All right. So there was big news today. Boy, Ademola Lookman was in the process. Technically, it's not fully done as of going to press, but it's going to Atletico Madrid.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? Is that the best place for him? Is Simeone the best coach for him? I'm glad he's out of Atalanta. But please
So when the week started off, the rumors were he was going to Fenerbahce. Yeah. And
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Fenerbahce were doing some backhand, not too nice negotiations with both himself and Atlanta. So it seemed as if the deal was actually going to break down, and they were doing that because they felt we're the only ones in for him, so we could lowball and do whatever we wanted to do. Then Atletico stepped in, and I think part of this was the game they played recently. Or if you look at Atletico in recent times, offensively they've kind of stagnated. They're not as dynamic as they used to, right? I looked at their lineup, Akin. They don't have a recognized winger anymore. Atletico, right? And that's the first thing that came to my mind. They're playing cams, central attacking midfielders on the wings. Yeah. So when the news broke yesterday or day before yesterday, I'm like, this is a good move for him from a playing standpoint. Yeah. He's not going to have as much competition. Now, this downside or the other side of stuff, just like you mentioned, is Simeone. Simeone has some idiosyncrasies that you and I, you understand. He does some things in very, very odd way. You give him a Ferrari, treats it like if it's a daft truck, So that might just be the downside of things. But is Atletico Madrid an upgrade on Atlanta? Yes. I'm sure he's going for more money. Yeah. Right? So Atletico Madrid is guaranteed Champions League participant. So unlike Atlanta that they yo-yo, they're in this year, they're out next time, this kind of stuff. So altogether, I think it's a good deal for him. The profile of the club fits his profile. There will be significant playing opportunities for him, and even the style of play in the Spanish league, which you and I have spoken about, is very, very open. Not as tight as you have in the Serie A and stuff like that. So altogether, I think is a positive move for him. The only downside is the Simeone side of stuff, and that we'll see how that pans out over time. Okay.
No, it's a good point, but could it really be worse than the situation is coming from with everything that has happened between he and is it Gasperini, his coach?
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully this works out. Happy for the kid. Hope everything works out for him.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Shall we get into our top 5 breeze through? Or actually, let's do the Champions League first because the final round of the Champions League just happened. As we previewed last week, everyone played at the same time. So we're not gonna go through everything. Let's just say the big names that didn't make it, the big names that only made the playoffs, and of course the top dog of them all. Let's just touch on those 3 real quick, so we can move on. Yeah.
Okay. So looking at the table, eventually, a couple of people kind of they found their way into top 8. But the surprise out of all of this, the surprise for me was Sporting Lisbon. Lisbon.
They made the top 8.
They made the top 8.
Were they 6th?
They're 7th.
7th.
They're 7th. right? So out of all of this, Newcastle was the English club that eventually had to go into the playoffs, right? So we had Arsenal, Bayern, Liverpool, Spurs, Barca, Chelsea, Sporting, Man City. City were lucky. They won their game, and I think Real beating Benfica. Benfica beating Real and made it, pushed City into the 8th position. So they avoid playing 2 extra games. So Real, Inter, PSG, Newcastle, Juve, Atletico, Atlanta, all those guys eventually made it into the playoffs. Now, in terms of the big teams that missed out altogether, I think Napoli is the only one I see here that looks somehow. Yeah, Napoli shouldn't be 30th on this table, but unfortunately they are. Marseille also missed out just by goal difference. They were 25th. Benfica was 24th, but Benfica has a better goal difference. That's why Benfica is in. Now, going through the UCL draw, Akin, I'm sorry. The draw, in my own opinion, it's kind of weak. There's no... I look at the games and there's nothing in here that really... I don't see anything here that worries me or that excites me, I think what they should have done is you didn't need a draw. You could have just said number 12, number 16 plays 24. Just do the way we do in the NBA. The draw was unnecessary. It completely unnecessary. And I think the draw was a way to kind of avoid or clear the path for some people. That's the way I see it.
They'll change it next year.
I hope so.
They keep refining everything. So last year they didn't have if you count first or second, you get to play home second. You know what I mean? In all the way to the final. Now they have that, so they'll take the seeding more seriously. Next year.
So Monaco playing PSG is just the same thing that happened to PSG last year. They played Brest I think at this level, one of the requirements should be same league should not play themselves.
Unless it's from the EPL. They already gave you five entrants. So
but the only EPL person in here right now is Newcastle.
I understand. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so it's Gala, Juve, Dortmund, Atlanta, Monaco, PSG, Benfica, Real Madrid is an odd one. They just played.
I know.
They just played, and they're playing the
game
on the last day. And there will be that. I think that's the only game that I'm really gonna watch, and I'll tell you why. Because of everything that surrounds it, the way they won, Mourinho elements, and all this kind of stuff. And then you have Carabao, Newcastle, Olympiacos, Leverkusen, Bodo Glimt, Inter, and Club Brugge Atletico Madrid. I don't expect any, what do you call it?
No upsets.
Any upsets. Nah, I think anybody that you believe will win this. So
should win.
It's just two extra games. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Move on.
Yes, unless you want to gloat a bit about your team.
Oh no. Just to say, Yinka, who was top of the Champions League table?
Arsenal.
Okay. They finished with what? 24
points. Yeah.
Who was next to them?
Bayern on 21.
With all right.
21. Liverpool
on Goals
18.
difference.
19, Bayern 14, Liverpool 12.
Okay. Just checking.
All this does not matter to me, and it should not matter to you, right?
Okay.
Hear me out. If this had been the Premier League, yes, I would say yes. This means something, and you're built into it. Your 24 points don't matter if you lose the next 2 games. You get what I'm saying? This is cup football.
You won't.
No. Hear me out now. Hear me out. Your 24 points don't matter if you are pitched against in the next round. Let's say they give you a Real Madrid, for example, and they knock you out. This 24 points is nothing. Now, I'm not saying you play Real Madrid and they'll knock you out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying don't just ignore this. Liverpool did almost the same thing with this last year. They didn't have as good a result, but what happened to them? They were bounced by PSG, who eventually won it. Yeah. So when it comes to cup football, pick at the right time. There's a danger of you picking early and you get bounced out. Yeah. I hope that's not the case, and I believe that won't be the case. But yeah, that's how I see this.
God will save you from this year extreme pressure. You know, me, I believe in things, and I say it with my chest. You know,
okay.
You are what you consistently do. 2 years ago, quarterfinals. Last year, semifinals. This year, top of the league. We're not going out in the first knockout, so I'm not worried about that. But we're gonna move on.
Let's move on. All I'm saying is nobody remembers. Nobody remembers in the group stages I didn't lose.
I understand.
Right? What people remember is who won the Champions League at the end of the day, and that's what should matter to you.
And when we win the Champions League, they will remember that we did it in style.
Nobody even cares how you won. No, whether it's style or no style, just win it first.
We'll win it.
Win it first.
We'll win it.
Good.
We'll win it. We'll come back and celebrate together.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do the quickest bridge through, starting with Ligue 1 in France.
So Ligue 1, Lens won, PSG won, Marseille won. PSG actually played this evening. They had a man down and they still beat Strasbourg 2-1. So it's the same thing. So they are on top with 48 points, Lens second with 46, and Marseille 39 points. So it's still between PSG and Lens.
Okay. Syria.
Syria is an interesting one because I think Roma play tomorrow and Milan play on Tuesday, interestingly. So right now, Inter has played a game more. Inter on 55 points and Milan 20 games. They've played 22 games, they're on 47. Yeah. Inter is beginning to, move away from the pack. Kind of. Napoli, they've hit a brick wall. They won today actually, but their results over the past two or 3 weeks has been very, very poor. Juve trashed them last week. So Inter ahead 55. Hopefully Milan wins tomorrow. Then the gap will be cut short to 5. But for now, it's 8.
Okay, so two things. So number one, Christian Kivu, no one's talking about the job he's doing at Inter. But, for Inter to have the season they had last year, have the heartbreak in the final of the Champions League, have the heartbreak in Syria, right? And then their coach walks away for Saudi money, right? And then new guy comes in. They don't really refresh the team. The playing squad is still old. Same problem they had.
They tried a bit. They brought in some new guys, just a bit. But I get what you're saying.
They don't really spend money. So when you have old legs like that, you have to have a lot of them because those guys can play every minute, and you're competing on forefronts.
Yeah.
So, but I think because the coach doesn't really say much, but I think tactically is pretty astute. But no one's really talking about the job he's done. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
And then our guy Jean-Philippe Mateta is going to AC Milan.
Or not, or maybe not.
Or not. What happened?
I heard he might have failed his medical.
Oh,
that's the rumor. Not confirmed. It might have failed his medical, and that there might be a pain. There might be a pain in that balloon.
Oh, because it's interesting because Strauss Larsen, who is the striker from Wolves, was supposed to go the other way to Crystal Palace for 43 million. Again, this game is interesting because everyone's mad, including the coach at Crystal Palace for not spending money, and now the owner decides to spend money on a striker from Wolves for 43 million. Yeah,
I think he's only had one game this week. I'm just telling you, I think he's only had one goal this season.
Yeah,
and he's going for 43 million. 43.
It's crazy. But anyway, let's do the Bundesliga real quick.
So the Bundesliga, okay. Maybe we should. I think maybe okay. Let me pause first. We said it might be curtains in the Bundesliga.
Yeah,
Bayern are going to win it a month ago. All of a sudden, Bayern's form is looking dicey. They lost last week, and guess what? They drew. They drew yesterday against away to Hamburg, and Dortmund. In both cases, Dortmund kind of caught up with them. Dortmund won their game late today, and they won last week also. So the gap all of a sudden is down to 6 points. It's down to 6 points. And you know what they say about 6-pointers? If Dortmund play Bayern and Bayern lose, it's down to 3 points.
That's it. Yeah.
It's down to 3 points. So maybe we were too early crowning Dortmund the champions, yeah?
No.
No, I know. Bayern. I mean Bayern champions. But I think I know what Company is doing. He's pacing himself and he's pacing the team, which is good actually, right? Because if you are in multiple competitions for the rest of the season, you need to find a way to make things. You need to find a way to spread the playing time across the players, so everybody's fresh for the running. So Luis Diaz didn't start this game, and he came in and he scored in less than maybe 2 or 3 minutes or so. Beautiful goal, by the way. Olise did all the work for him. He just put the ball in the back of the net. Which is why I'm probably not worried with Company in the Bundesliga. Yeah. I think they'll probably still coast to the end. Yeah. But just making things slightly more interesting than we all thought it would be. Yeah. So it's down to 6 points. Bayern 51 points. Dortmund 45 after game week 20.
Okay. All right. Shall we move on to La Liga? I don't think there was any big surprises.
No, no surprises per se in La Liga, but Barca won comfortably. Good game. They beat Elche 3-1. The scoreline flattered Barca a bit. That game, Elche had chances, but they were very, very wasteful. They weren't clinical. Barca, on the other hand, were super clinical. Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, I think Rashford settled it later on in the game also. Yeah. Then earlier on today, Madrid played Rayo Vallecano. Vinny Jr. scored the first goal, beautiful goal. I didn't see the Rayo equalizer because I had some stuff to do. I didn't watch the rest of the game. When I came back, I saw that Madrid won with a 100-minute penalty by Kylian Mbappe. The first thing I was looking for is what
100.
I'm serious. It was 100 minutes. I'm like,
I know.
How did this penalty happen? That was what I was interested in. Yeah. And as usual, for me, it's not a stonewall penalty. The guy got the ball, he swung his leg up, and Brahim Diaz, in my own opinion, ran into the guy's leg, and he fell down as if somebody shot him in the head. And it's funny because you should have noticed myself and Enru were chatting earlier on, and Enru was it's a penalty. I'm like, dude, that's not a pen. And he was like, thank God I'm not a ref. I'm a ref. There won't be penalty in football. And I'm like, yes, there won't be penalty in football because this is not what I grew up. This is not what I grew up, knowing or, watching. Remember the days when we were under 17, under 21 of Nduka and Gbade, Bawa Abdullahi, all those guys, Mike Onyemachi and all those guys.
Yeah.
Nigerian left backs were known for sliding tackles. As in proper sliding tackle. They will clear the ball and they will clear you with the ball. It was legit. It was allowed then. You can't do those kind of stuff these days. I'm like, what did football turn to? And I don't really blame number two. Okay, there are two things. I blame the refs that you have because these refs, in my opinion, I don't think they play football. I don't think they kick a ball before in their life. So sometimes they don't understand, the psyche of footballers. That's one. Number two is the commentators in general that try to justify the decisions that they make. Trying to tell me, there was contact. Yeah, there was. Of course, there's always contact. The question is not whether he touched him.
Sport.
Exactly. Yeah. The question is not whether he touched him. The question is, was he fouled? Was he fouled? If I'm the ref, I'll be giving people yellow cards anyhow, because
for 70%
of the penalties are simulations. People are diving all over the place, and the ones that are stonewall penalties, they will come and tell me, no, it's not a pen. For example, the Gyökeres away to Newcastle one, where the guy he really cleared him, and you could see the guy, and they said no, it's not a pen because he got the ball first. I'm like, the knee, check the knee. The knee hit him first before he even touched the ball. Yeah. See, I give up. I don't know what penalty is. But was it you that shared it? You said Real Madrid have 11 penalties this season already, which is the record in series. It wasn't you. Which is the record in La Liga, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is absolute madness, man. Absolute madness. And they will get more. And I believe the reason is they want the league to be interesting. They don't want a runaway season, right? So everything is building up towards El Clasico, the return leg. Is it the return leg now, or the second leg be? So leg. it will be at Madrid, right? I think the first one was at Barcelona, right? Mm-hmm. It's building up to that. They want it to be one of the biggest games, and they're trying to help people as much as they can, because I've seen both Barca and Real Madrid get favorable calls this season. So it's not just Real Madrid only. Real Madrid's zone might be worse, I agree, or might be more rampant, but Barca too have gotten some questionable decisions this season. But as it is, it's 1 point between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Goal difference is significantly different. I think that's Barca 37, Real 29. So maybe that counts for an extra point. But yeah, let's wait till El Clasico. El Clasico will be the decider.
All right. The last El Clasico of the season, unless they meet each other in the Champions League. So
yeah, you never know.
All right. You never know. I hope not, but okay. All right. So let's talk about the EPL real quick. What happened this week?
Where do you want me to start from? Plenty happened this week.
Okay, how about this? So
plenty happened this week.
Last week we spent a lot of time talking about the demise of a once great club, Arsenal. You know, they came, they saw, they died, and you know, never to be heard from again, ever. Because they had the audacity to lose their first home game since May 3rd. Since May 3rd of 2005. How dare you lose at home? They actually got booed, believe it or not, by their own fans.
At home. Yeah.
Yinka, for the record, Arsenal's 3 losses have been, you know, the Waldy free kick by Szoboszlai in the first game against Liverpool. A heartbreaking bundled goal at the death away to Villa. And then another worldie last week from Cunha.
Yeah.
Right? All of them scored in the 85th minute or later, I think, roughly.
Yeah.
You know, that's how Arsenal have lost. They've lost by 1 goal each time. Right? 1-0, 2-1, 3-2.
Yep.
And I'm supposed to think the sky is falling. So the 3 clubs that are competing for the league, to hear people tell it, is City, Arsenal, and Villa right now.
No, there are more than 3 now. Let me correct you there.
Wait, you can't wait.
Okay.
So, going into this weekend that we're finishing, weekend, it was 3, right? So, and Arsenal went first. They went up to Leeds, right? Everybody said Leeds is the toughest place to go in the league. It's the loudest place. Yeah, I'm like, what is happening? You know? Meanwhile, at the Emirates, they scored 5 goals against Leeds. At the end of the game yesterday, they had scored 4. All I know is, I think they beat Chelsea at that same Leeds. I think they were like, what, 2-2 against City.
They beat Liverpool and they drew.
They beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
Okay. None of them won. All the big clubs at these Leeds, none of them won. Leeds themselves had not lost at home in 5 games, right? At home. So you can see why the haters will be like, hey, Arsenal is in trouble. So that plus 29 goals difference that Arsenal had, plus 9 of it is because of Leeds. Ika, what's his face? Gyökeres. Gyökeres scored 2 goals in London, 1 in Leeds. He has 6 Premier League goals. Half of it is against Leeds. Okay? So, okay. So I'm just saying, my people say Tabasco Camarino, right?
Yes.
So at the end of Saturday now, the lead was 7 again. And then, of course, the infallible champions of England for 6 of the last however many years were going to go to Spurs. And obviously, they were going to close the gap to 4 points. I was on a train. Please tell us what happened.
Okay, so let me start off with the Arsenal game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I tell you what happened with the City and the Villa game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. Coming into this game, the last time Leeds lost at home was in November, and that was home to Villa. Villa beat them 2-1. They beat Chelsea. They drew to Liverpool. They drew United, right? So the only home loss this season prior to Arsenal's visit was that Aston Villa 2-1 loss.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people thought that was a banana skin for Arsenal. I can see that. I didn't. Yeah. But what I know is every time Arsenal has had a hiccup, the rebound is frightening. Has always been. Yeah. Has always been. And I think that's what I want to focus on. It shows some level of maturity. Yeah. It shows composure. It shows them not fretting or not getting scared about stuff. And it shows us that the mentality of the team and the confidence of the team, or whatever psychological situation the team is in, is different from what the larger proportion of the fan base are in. Right? It's like they're two different whatever. When Arsenal lost, it was like, the season is over. They've started again. They will bottle it. But you saw Arteta come out in press conferences, and it was calm. It was reassuring. It was like, spoken.
Very much so.
Very calm. And I told you this thing. I said, I've seen coaches come out and they don't know what to say, right? You might be angry with Arteta with every other thing. No, he's incompetent from a tactic standpoint. The English is not his first language, but the guy knows what to say.
It's true. Yeah, he does.
He knows what to say. He communicates. He says what I expect at every point in time.
Communicator.
Very great communicator. So I'll give him that. Now talk about the game in itself, right? Just a few minutes to the game starting, Bukayo Saka pulls up with something, and we understood that he wasn't gonna start. All of a sudden, up comes what's his name again? Noni. Noni comes up. Noni gets an assist for the first goal. Noni gets the second goal. That has been accredited to him now.
Yeah, to him.
And Kai Havertz starts ahead of Odegaard, which is similar to what happened in the Champions League game at home to Carrick. And Leeds obviously was not expecting a more direct Arsenal. Yeah? That was a more direct Arsenal. It was Kai and Victor Gyökeres, staying way up there on the pitch. Unlike Odegaard that would drop back to pick up the ball, you had two people that were disturbing their centre backs all game. Game, right? So it also seemed as if there was a slight change in tactics. Yeah,
there was.
And I've said this before. Leeds, give it to them. They are the only team, not the only team, one of the few teams that they don't respect anybody. Leeds never packed the bus. When they came to the Emirates, that's why they collected 5. They came and they thought we could play. And it's the same thing at home. They didn't do the same thing that United did or any other person. They're like, they are just human beings now. They don't have 4 heads now, and they decided to play normally with Arsenal. And that's what happened.
And they chopped 4.
and they chopped 4, right? So looking to next,
win stupid prizes.
So looking to next week, Arsenal is at home to Sunderland. Arsenal play first, right? Then City play after. I'll talk about that. Let me jump the gun. Yeah. I'll talk about that one later on. So then I'll switch to today, which is, let me start with Villa. Okay. So Villa Brentford, on paper that looks like a 3 points for Villa. Yeah. Brentford then get a red card, deserved red card. The guy was silly. Kevin Shade was silly. He was standing up. He stamped on, was it Cash's stomach or so? It was rightly sent off. I don't have a problem with that. Then all of a sudden there was a counter and Brentford scored a beautiful goal on the other end. And I'm like, nah, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Villa should win this, right? So I didn't even pay attention to the game. I went away. So I got a notification on my phone that, Villa equalized. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I got a notification that the goal was cancelled. And I saw the goal and I'm like, sorry, this is a clean goal. And this was Tammy Abraham, by the way, who is now back at Villa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the problem with this goal? He wasn't offside. So apparently in the build-up, the ball had gone out. So VR had to go back and they scrapped the goal, right? And Brentford were so resolute, Villa just couldn't break them down. So that means Villa lost at home to a 10-man Brentford. Yeah? So, Akin, when I tell you, right, that in this league, if you don't bring your A game, one small boy will smack you and collect your lunch money.
That's true.
That's exactly what happened to Villa today.
That's true.
Because what's his name? Ollie Watkins, maybe he's injured or not. He was in the stands. Or maybe he was suspended. I hope he's not injured, but he was in the stands. Douglas Luiz, that has not played for a long time, that came back to Villa. Emery started him again today, right? So the team is not the usual Villa team that we see. And it's part of disrespecting Brentford. She been at Brentford. We could beat them now. Warning to everybody now. If you don't come with your A game, one small boy will smack you left, right, punch your stomach, collect your funds, collect your lunch money. That's the lesson for everybody, right? So Villa lost at home. Now the dreaded 4 points gap as of yesterday. As of last week, Arsenal is going to lose. I told you. Remember, I should be quoting myself these days. I told you last week. I said it. I said this thing will yo-yo from now to the end of the season.
Oh my God.
Arsenal will drop points where you don't expect them to drop points. Liverpool will drop points. City will drop. People will mess up anyhow. I'm saying it now. It's going to happen. So people just enjoy the ride. That's part of the fun. You're not going to have a runaway winner. This league is too complex. The teams involved are too dynamic for you to just say there'll be one runaway guy that will just take the baton and just run away with the league. It's not gonna happen. This Arsenal 6 points will yo-yo. It will be 3 points or 4 points in some games. It will go to 7. It will go to 8. It might even disappear at a point. I pray that doesn't happen. But you get what I'm trying to say. Things there's so many moving parts right now. Then fast forward to today. No, later on today. Our friends at the what's the name of their new stadium, self? The sports people, the White Hart Lane people. Yeah, let's call the stadium White Hart Lane. Yeah, terrible. Yeah. So their fans were split down the middle. Some people wanted them to lose so that Arsenal, they don't want to aid Arsenal's winning. And some of them were like, what kind of disgrace is this? We are in a relegation battle. So it's devil deep blue sea for them, more or less. Yeah. So when the game started, City started like a house on fire. Yeah. Okay. Well and good. City started like a house on fire. Scored 2 good goals. Then the second half came, and I don't know what happened to City. Right? They just decided, you know what? Maybe we should just keep this, sit on this. Right? Maybe they're looking forward to the Newcastle game during the week, and maybe they were already looking to the Liverpool game next weekend. They just stopped playing, and Spurs started getting more confident. I will be very honest with you. I'm happy with the result, but the first Spurs goal shouldn't have stood. Yeah. Solanke kicked Gehi. Yeah. On the hill, and Gehi kicked the ball, and they scored, and they gave Solanke the goal. I'm like, sorry, it's one of two things. It is either you say that's a foul and that's a free kick, or you say it's an own goal. It can't be a Solanke goal. It can't be a Solanke goal. In my opinion, that goal should not have stood. I'm still looking for the explanation from VAR, whatever it is. In my opinion, that goal shouldn't have stood, right? Then City just lost all decorum.
Wow.
Solanke scored a worldie, by the way. A scorpion kick, similar to Giroud. Yeah. Then it was 2-2. Then the game was so open, anything could have happened. City had chances to win it. Spurs had chances to win it, but nobody could do anything. Rodri was a lucky boy today. He should have been sent off, right? There were 2 yellow card offenses that he should have been given. And the second one, the ref didn't give him. I don't even think they started play again. What's his name? Guardiola said, yeah, bros, come. He took him out. Yeah? And that same Rodri had the effrontery to get on the post-game interview and was ranting about the refs and say, I couldn't talk before because I wasn't the captain. Now I'm the captain. I can talk. These are decisions, minor decisions that happened during the game that could have gone in that way. He was complaining about Spurs' first goal, rightly so. I also think that goal shouldn't have stood, right? But I'm like, dude, if there's anybody that shouldn't be talking, it's you. You were lucky. You yourself should have been sent off. You should have been sent off. Why? What are you talking about? Yeah.
Oh my God.
But so that happened. So the contenders, more or less, both dropped points. City got 1 point. Yeah. Villa got none. Right. So Arsenal are back to 6 points ahead. Right. I don't want to know. Now so it be. But the other 2 games I want to talk about, right, is the Chelsea West Ham game and the United Fulham game. Both ended 3-2, right? Don't look now. The informed team in the league are the ones that change their coaches. Are the 2 people that change their coaches. So obviously, right now, Liam Rosenio is prime Mourinho, and Carrick and Carrick is prime Ferguson.
LinkedIn Liam,
right?
LinkedIn Liam.
Anyway, so Chelsea were down 2-0. Then they came back, brought on the big guns, and they won. I told you I said, nah, they're gonna win. I knew West Ham don't have enough, right, to hold Chelsea. Yeah. Then the Fulham United game.
I didn't see that. I was on the train. Yeah.
You were on the train. So United went ahead 2-0. Set piece goal. Nobody will say anything now. The set piece goal set up United to play the way they always wanted to play, which is play counter-attacking football, right? Because and that's how they got the second goal. Then Fulham played better than United today. Let's be clear, right? Then Fulham scored, right? 1 goal scramble and 1 beautiful goal by Kevin. Then all of a sudden, guess what happened? It's the same thing that happened again against Arsenal. United go on the other end and they score a worldie, right? And I'll give it to them, right? It's not it's not something to overlook if you have the mentality and the wherewithal to, immediately you concede that you're supposed to be dejected. You go back the other side and you score in back-to-back games. All well and good. Kudos for that. But I've told you this thing before, Akin. What you detest in losses, you should not ignore them in wins, right? It was a poor United performance today. Let's be honest. That's the way I saw it.
Let's just leave it at that.
I'll just leave it at that. It's right? It was a poor United performance today, right? And I told everyone they play better when they played better after they scored. So they went back into their let's sit back and let's counter with pace. Yeah. If that's the only way you can play, you are not going to play the rest of the season this way. Yeah? But all of a sudden, I told you, United fans are all over my timeline, everywhere. There, I created that meme myself that I sent to you, by the way, and I'll share it on the screen. You guys will see it. I did. Yeah. Everybody is now coming out like roaches. All of a sudden, when you enter a kitchen and you use some bacon and some, insecticide, and roaches start popping out, or you turn on and everybody's now popping out, and I'm like, sooner than later, you will pop back in where you popped out from. Yeah.
Just for the record, I did not compare them to roaches. You did.
They can come after me. God. It's all good. Anyway, so that's my summary of the games this week.
Yeah, thank you, Inka. This is why, unfortunately, Michael Carrick won't get the job. Because the people who should know better will say, "Oh, he's only good, playing one way, blah 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 blah." Personally, I think he should get the job. They've tried everything.
I think so too.
They've tried the quote unquote big name coach, whatever. I think someone who will put in the hard yards, who will do the work, who knows how to shake hands and kiss babies and all the things you need to do as a United boss, who will make the main thing be the main thing. Because there's very few coaches in the world who would take over that team 2 weeks ago and say, "I'm only gonna play one of Cornier or what's the other guy? Cameroonian guy. Remind me.
Mbeumo.
Very few people will have the gall to do that. He did it, and he worked out for him. 2 big games. Most coaches will force feed the ball to both of them and shoehorn those 2 guys into the team. So I think he's made big decisions. He knows the club. He seems like a good guy. I think he should get the job. But
I think so, I'm sure
too. They'll be looking for the next big man.
No. I think they should give him the job. All I'm saying, right? Because he's making the best. He's getting the best out of what he has. No other United coach has been able to do this. So kudos to him. And it seems as if the team is responding to him properly. You can't ignore that. And you see what the guy has done. He's brought in Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is looking okay right now. Harry Maguire next to, you have this giant dwarf kind of whatever, like a yin-yang kind of thing. And they're complementing each other. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm not saying they're not playing well. All I'm saying is the issues we said might happen with his style of play were on display today.
Yeah.
Don't let the wind deceive you all, right? Don't let the wind deceive you all, right? I won't say more than that.
Okay. So, Inka, speaking of dwarfs, so I have a friend who used to use this term, right? When someone is, relatively doing okay, but not absolutely doing okay in a certain thing, it'll be like, we're dealing with the tallest midget. He'll say this guy he would just say this guy is just the tallest midget. So I'm like, when you said giant and dwarf, I just reminded me of this guy. I'm not even sure you can say midget anymore these days, but I don't know.
I don't know what we can say. I don't know what we can say anymore. So if anything I've said, I've offended anybody, I apologize. I profusely apologize in advance. We are old people. Okay. We don't know what is proper lingua anymore. Right?
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Anyway,
that's terrible. So that's the end of our league review.
Yes,
running
sir.
out of time, so we're just quickly. There's a big cup semi-final in England this new week. On Tuesday, Chelsea come to the Emirates for the second leg of the semi-finals for the Carabao Cup. The first leg was 3-2 Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Two great goals by Garnacho, right? Saved the tie because that was more of a 4-1, 3-1 game. But somehow they brought it to 3-2. And now it's on the knife's edge, believe it or not. My take on, and then on Wednesday, Newcastle City. I don't know who's home. Remind me.
It's home City. City's home.
City's home. Okay.
Yeah.
And was it
it was 2-0.
City win? 2-0.
City won 2-0 at Newcastle. Right? Yeah. So City's at home right
so
now.
That one is not on the knife's edge. City should
go. No. But I think City should go.
But this other one, honestly, like I feel like Arsenal dominated that first leg, and they could be eliminated. They could easily be eliminated. I think Chelsea could win at the Emirates. I don't know how you feel about this. I am not, and I've been confident all season. Every Arsenal game, there's not been one Arsenal game I've not been confident. This is the first time that I'm not so sure. So what's your take on?
This is interesting. No, how can you not be confident of your team? You are the one that said.
Because it's a
you are the one that come on now, Akin. You are the one that say you are typically who you are. We just talked about Champions League, and I told you cup football. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that's the biggest cup that everybody will bring their A game. This one, I don't know that Arsenal will bring.
Akin, everybody, did you see the first leg? The only person that started that I thought wasn't. It was only Kepa for Raya.
Kepa, that's all. But that could be determinative. But we'll see.
No. So here's the thing. Yeah. You are. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just surprised you're coming to my side of things, right? Because I'm the one that's usually on this side.
It's not your side.
I'm the one. Everybody seems to think that Arsenal this season we are cakewalking to 4 trophies, and I'm the one that is like, you call me the pessimistic one. I'm the one that is like, guys, nah. Yeah, until it happens, you shouldn't be walking around as if it's already happened, right? So this is the first step to your quadruple that you people have been shouting about.
Not me. So just
so you've not been shouting about quadruple?
No. I personally have not been. But to be very, very, very clear, Arsenal, and I think this is what Arteta is doing. Arteta wants to win every match. He wants to win every cup. He wants to try. He wants, look, if I don't win, it's because someone beat me, not because I rested players. And I respect that. And I think the football gods eventually will reward you when you have that attitude. I really believe it, right? So what I'm saying is Chelsea haven't beaten Arsenal in so long. And for some reason, I'm feeling like they could this. I'm not saying they will, but I'm feeling like they could. I hope they don't, but I'm feeling like they could. 1-0, because, even if they score one goal now, the thing will go to penalties, right? There's no extra time in Carabao, right? Did they do extra time in Carabao? I think it goes to penalties.
I don't think there's extra time in Carabao.
Yeah, I think it goes
I don't think so.
But anyway, either way, I hope Arsenal just score one goal. So, just score one goal. Let's do that, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Right. Since you're gonna sit on the fence, but you're just gonna move on. So my prediction is we will go through. I think it'll be very difficult, but my prediction is we will go through. So I think City will go through. I can't see Newcastle scoring. I can't think Newcastle coming back. I can see that. So all right. So but after that, the games are just coming thick and fast. After that, City have to go to Anfield.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
Yes.
So I think it's a Wednesday, Sunday for them.
Yeah, Wednesday, Sunday for them.
Yeah, so they have to go to Anfield. And the Liverpool that I saw, Ekitike is just on fire right now. He's on fire. Wirtz is getting more confident. Wirtz went, 21 games without scoring, and now he scored, 4?
I told you
Wirtz?
About Wirtz. Yes. Yeah. When everybody was killing him, including you at times, you actually jumped ship for a week or two. I said the talent is there. All he needs to do is understand his environment, and you will see a different player. Now, at the same time, I'm going to flip this. People say Ekitike is on fire. And I'm like, how many goals has he scored this season? Let me check.
It's the confidence, Yinka. It's not the goals. It's the confidence.
Yeah. So you hear me out now? So confidence. I look at it and I'm like, okay, interesting. Yeah? I'm just trying to let you realize that at times, right, people say enough things, enough lies, and the consistency gets to the point you want to believe is true. I'm not saying Ekitike is not been playing very, very well, but if you juxtapose and you go over to Gyökeres's side, and you look at the numbers and the goals and you're like, okay, it's not, the numbers are not significantly different. They've both been injured for a while. They were out for some time. So how come somebody is called a failure and the other guy is a success? Answer, please.
Okay, so one, neither of them is a failure. So the people are wrong. The people calling Gyökeres a failure are wrong. I think what it is the fit. Is the fit with the new team, right? I think even the biggest optimist and the biggest Gyökeres and Arsenal fan will admit that the team has not taken to him, or he has not taken to the team. You know, he's done some things. You know, he's opened up some spaces for people, but it's not the most hand in glove fit, right? Meanwhile, Ekitike is if you went to the lab to design a striker for this Liverpool system, you will come out with Ekitike.
Okay.
To be honest, even more than Isak.
All I'm going to say right now is this.
I know.
There is a reason why that is happening. But if I say it, people will think I'm just
say it.
You know, I'm not. No, I'll keep it for some other time. Right?
Does it have to do with Mo Salah? Does it have to do with
Mo Salah? It is the fact that right now there's a major disrespect to Liverpool. Right? Do you know the number? See what the Newcastle game? Do you see the space that he was working with? The guy was allowed to run all over the pitch. That's same true. Team, put the same Ekitike in this same Arsenal team, everybody will pack the bus. People will be saying exactly the same thing. This guy, this Ekitike guy said he's not a good player. That's what is going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I was watching the game, Aki, the field was... And it's because people look at Liverpool and believe, we can have a go at you people. We'll play against you people. Okay. That's what's going on.
I see what you mean.
But Gyökeres on the other side, he's everywhere. He's as we say, he choke everywhere. He choke. See the second goal he scored yesterday. It was. I don't know how on earth you're playing Liverpool and that counter just pops up. And what's his name? Dambon or Fio was just escorting him. You escorted this guy from the center circle. And see the Pope that's the goalkeeper. This guy top poked the ball, and you goalkeeper, the ball went by your side like this. This is the same Pope that turned into Prime Buffon when Arsenal played Newcastle at whatever. Should be saving that. Anyway, I rest my case.
No, that is a very, very good point.
Anyway, let's move on.
And then only other team in France, PSG hosts Olympique Marseille. Our boy will be there.
Yes, sir.
Ethan Nwaneri. So I hope he gets on. I hope he plays well. I hope they win. And if by some miracle they win the league, I will be very happy. So
he's been a starter and he's been playing well in his 2 games. Meanwhile, Mikel Merino is injured. He's out for 2 months, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. And someone was like, "No, this is where we wish we didn't." Ethan Nwaneri didn't go out. I'm like, you have AZ as you guys have been complaining that he's not playing now. So this is the time for AZ to step up and show us what is made up of.
Not just that. Look at the physique of Merino.
Yeah.
You have Havertz coming back from injury. It's a direct replacement, you know? And they've been playing Havertz in that right 8. second striker role.
Yeah.
So before Merino and then Saka got injured in warm-ups, right? Every senior player was available. There's no club in England right now that can say all my senior players were available. Even for one day, that everybody that I consider a senior player is available. So what are Arsenal fans complaining about? So Merino is out. Saka should be like a very small injury. I think it was a precaution, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, and now you have Jesus back, and it looks good, right? You have Havertz back. You paid 65 million for this guy three years ago. When 65 was still a lot of money. And it looks like he has a lot of confidence. The way he fired that ball, that last game that he played. I'm like, what are we talking about? Well, I think, but you said it, we talked about the PTSD. Arsenal fans they must complain. Now they're like, oh, you have to go back into the market. Oh, this is where it begins. No. The joyless pursuit is really, it's becoming too much. It's becoming like, it's too much.
I don't mind going back into the market. Though. I don't mind going back into the market. I don't mind going back into the market. No. And see. No. Mm-hmm. See, this is the mistake y'all make, right?
Okay.
It's just the Nkapie business also. Nkapie business was, we wanted him and we decided, we need you to come in now. We'll do a loan. Yeah. There are players that you've tracked, right? This is your chance for you to now say, you know what? I'm not just doing this for short term. Yeah, I'm doing it for short term cover, and at the same time, this is a long term cover for me, right? Because we all know Nogard is probably it won't last beyond this season. Right, so go out there now. Yeah, he did. So go out there, go get the Ayub guy that you thought you wanted. Go get the Mendoza guy that you've been scouting. If that is possible, it's just that it's 24 hours I don't think it will happen. But I agree with you. Kai Havertz and Eze should suffice at this point. They should.
Okay.
They should.
All right.
Okay.
Yinka, I think we have come to the end of our show for today. Yes. We did go over an hour. Yes. We apologize. We'll try to do better next time.
We will.
Yinka, please take us out.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Like Akin said earlier on, if you see us, if you come across any of our content on any of the platforms that you patronize, please, you know what to do. Subscribe where you have to subscribe, like where you have to like, send in comments. Like Akin said, if there are things that I've said that you're not happy with, or things that he has said that you are happy with, right? Get into the comments, put in your comments, let's talk. We're happy to take those comments. And if you have questions for us, we're more than happy to take them. Akin, this is episode number 95. We're 5 episodes to 100. So we'll probably get to 100 sometimes in March, first week of March, hopefully. Yeah. And we'll plan some things for you guys just to reward our faithful fans, faithful subscribers. Faithful subscribers. We'll think of something. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. Akin.
All right. Thank you, Yinka. Thank you, everyone. We will be back next week. Hopefully, everyone will be back in their usual digs. Until then, take care of yourselves and goodbye.
Bye, people.